Hello everyone, welcome back. I do apologize for being gone for so long, but obviously I have a good reason. I graduated college, yippee! Finally, I'm out of that hellhole of fucking exams, notes, dealing with BS professor. I'm free! Sorry, but in all seriousness though, I have recently graduated college and did got a degree. What degree is that in? Well, I'll have to say that for the end of the video. Overall, I just simply want to give some tips or advice for anyone who is entering the college or are currently in college. That was bad sentencing structure. Can you tell I'm doing this without a script? So overall, this is going to be a very short video, or at least one with no further plan, just getting straight to the point. So, without further ado, a few things I would like to mention when it comes for the obvious tips. Use Rate My Professor to see the rating of the professor you could gain. However, if you do only have one professor in the class you have to take, I'm so sorry, I would actually recommend not using Rate My Professor for that, so that way you don't lower your morale when you find out that your professor is actually bad doing their job. Don't be late to class, and at least try to be early, at least for your first week. Just simply to help show a good impression, and as well get yourself familiarized with the class. Don't slack off in class, that's pretty obvious. You're paying like, what, $1,000 in tuition, and you choose to just sleep or skip class? That's... God, that would be insane. My brain cannot fathom that. You are responsible for everything you do in college. Having paid rent, doing your homework on time, remembering that the professor added an assignment that they didn't tell you about for some goddamn reason. So, please don't forget that. Don't ever forget that it's okay to ask for help. College is new for everyone, and honestly, it helps show you that as you go into your next stage in life, you realize nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. So, it's okay to ask someone who knows more knowledge or is more experienced with things than you are. And plus, you should never be afraid to ask for help. While this one had been mentioned before of the fact that you don't need to raise your hand to use the bathroom, you also don't need to raise your hand when you take a phone call. Literally, like, you can just simply get up and walk out of class if you want. Usually 9 out of 10, you can just simply walk out of class and do what you need to do or leave the class for the rest of the day, whether that be for an appointment, an emergency, etc. The professor understands, and if they don't, honestly, that's on them. This next tip gonna sound crazy, but college isn't for everyone. Yes, college will help you in life for both in knowledge, education, and getting a job. Hell, that's the main point of college.
Even just having a college degree can help you get further in life as well as get more opportunity with jobs. By the way, sorry for the weird audio here, I just want to say that right now because I forgot to add that into the video.
However, college is used to help in specialized certain field. You can do the same thing for trade works as well, among other things. For example, if you want to do something that involves like HVAC or trade works, you don't really go for college for that, you go to a trade school. And there are other things that you don't really need a degree or don't need to learn in college, when you can go for other or better degree for that matter. And for the last obvious tip, everyone is going at this at their own pace. Personally for me, I have graduated college in 5 years of the total time span. It took me 3 years to get my associates and 2 years to get my bachelor. That, by the way, going from community college then to university. Sorry if that one sound weird, but it basically shown that everyone is doing their own pace of college, where their degrees say that, oh, it can be completed in 4 years. Sometimes people take 5 to do so, or even less. And not only that, there are certain degrees out there that does require more time, such as engineering or nursing. So overall, it's best not to worry about finishing college as fast as you can. Now, I can't say this for everyone. For example, I wanted to finish college as fast as I can, mainly because so that way I can get a job and be able to use the funding I get from those jobs to help fund personal hobbies or just personal endeavor, such as my editing hobby or other personal creative endeavor that I want to do in the future. And there might be other factors too, such as real world factor that could be affecting your life, and getting this degree will help you get out of the situation you're currently in. That another thing that college is very helpful for and why people will go to college even if they're taking a certificate or a 1-semester program. There are jobs out there that doesn't require a 4-year or more degree plan. For example, you can still work as a nurse but not as a full-time nurse. You can be a CNA, a certified nurse assistant. They usually have program or courses that last around a month, and then you take an examination test to determine if you get certified or not. This is what a close friend of mine did, and currently she's still in a similar position like that and had even gotten a pay raise to my knowledge. Not only that, but she using the money that she get from this job to not only help fund her endeavor and future hobbies as well, but as well using it to help advance herself in the career ladder to go get education to help meet the requirement for the next job. Basically, she using this as a stepping ladder to get into her next goal in life. And that is all the obvious tips I have to give. So now, let's go to the one that I had learned during college or after my college career. Starting with number 1, build a relationship with your professor. The relationship is a two-way road no matter how you put it. Both parties have to put in the trust and effort to come and meet in the middle and support each other. Where you both either like each other's company or you just simply try and get through a group project like, please do your goddamn work for the love of God. One of these relationships that you will come across and eventually will make is having a relationship with your professor. No, not the illegal kind of sense, but actually the friendship kind of sense. Whether that be through friendship or just a well-known mutual partnership. This step is very important and vital as they are one of your valuable resources of helping you deal with school. And plus, this is so common nowadays that a lot of the time, the first thing that the professor will do on the first week of class is that they will give their class their email or phone number, and so that way you can contact them easier. The reason why this is very helpful is because professors are people who are very understanding and know what you're going through. In the sense, they're the adult that actually went through college and know how bad college can be at times. So they're trying to take the loads off the students. Unlike, like other higher up of college or just the college experience where I feel like you're making it more worse. Can you tell how much resentment I have for college? Like, Jesus Christ. I have a love-hate relationship. Anyway, I have this one story with this professor where on the last week before final, which funny enough was when I was completing my associate's degree and was going to transfer next year, I got into a car accident, which caused me to be absent for the entire day. Immediately I emailed and texted my professor about this, and the first thing she asked was if I was alright and okay. So obviously she was understandable that I couldn't make it to class at all, and she was making sure that I was all good. Now, obviously this won't go for every single professor, but it's best to at least have to start building that trust with them so that way it can show that you both have a mutual agreement and show how committed you are with trying to complete these classes, as well as just show that, hey, I can trust this student, this is a student that won't slack off or make up lies, because trust me, there's so many students that will try to take advantage of teacher trust, and they very much know. Number 2, your degree might not be your final degree. At least how I was grown up. I don't know if this will go the same for everyone or the future, but I know there will be at least someone in each generation that will go through this, where as you're growing up, you're told that you're going to pick a degree and when you enter college and you essentially going to be stuck with that degree, or in a way, this is going to be the degree that you have to complete. You are not stuck to one degree. You can always switch. If you go into college and take math because you love math at school and thought you could do it in college, but then found out you don't have the skill for it, no matter how hard you try, you just always fail, then it's okay to switch to another degree. You are never stuck with one degree. That's something I want you to know. Obviously, I will say not all degrees are created equal. Like mentioned before, college, oh my god, I got a text, sorry. Like mentioned before, college isn't for everyone. And even when they go into college, they have to pick the right degree because that degree will have much more value and impact behind it. Someone who have a degree in liberal arts will have a lower chance of finding jobs of they want compared to someone with a more stronger degree. That's just honestly the sad reality. Another thing too with some of those degrees, such as engineering or nursing, they are classes that are designed to weed out the weak. People who can't keep up or don't have the skill to continue on. And these are designed purposely so that way they can make sure they get the cream of the crop, or people who can actually do the job. As bad as it sounds, it's a good reason why this happened. Using nursing as an example, we can't have a nurse that simply cheat or ease their way through all these classes while they putting people's lives at hands. Another thing to factor in when it comes to picking a degree is that you have to ask yourself, is this the degree you want? You could be taking a degree, oh my gosh. You could be taking a degree that you are unable to learn, but you keep going, and every single time you can't even learn a single bit of the material, not even the basic. It's a sad reality, but that is something you have to take factor in. So, it's always best to remember, you are not stuck with one degree. You can get a degree for a subject or field that you do love in, or for a subject or field that you are able to learn but don't have the same passion as the one that helped burn the flame in your soul. Depending on your situation, you can always switch to another degree. One where it can either be something you're very passionate about, or one that can help you advance in life and give you more opportunities. It's just simply up to you on how you can handle and tackle them. Number 3. Sacrifices will have to be made. Now this goes for the real world as well, and I'm pretty sure you learned this at an early age, but in college, or at least around this time, you start to notice that everything have a trade-off, or something have to be sacrificed. Another example is that you have an assignment due tomorrow at 3 p.m. and it's currently 10 p.m. the night before the deadline. So you have to make a choice. Do you decide to finish the homework while losing sleep? Or do you decide to put off the homework for tomorrow, being able to gain more sleep, however, having the pressure of finishing the homework assignment before the deadline? And to give an even more extreme example, let's say that you have two friends, and they're both dealing with two completely different things. You plan over a month for a special event to do with your group of friends, but on the night of the event, you learn that your close friend went through the loss of their loved one. And you just learned this as the event is about to start. What do you do? I have been through this and many more examples of everything have to come with a trade-off and a choice. The best way I can explain this is you have to choose or figure out how you'll approach this so that way you can minimize the outcome, or I guess the quote-unquote fallout. Well, that sounds too extreme. Not everything have a fallout. For example, I was able to resolve that more extreme example that I gave recently. I did explain the scenario to my friend, and both of them were very understanding. And as soon as I finished that event that I did with that one friend group, I immediately went back to that one close friend who lost their loved one to help comfort them. To this day, I'm still friends with both friend group, and they both don't know about each other's situations. Oh god, real life, they watched this video. Oh no, I'm so sorry, y'all. But if I can give advice for when it comes to what to sacrifice or just anything in general, I will say never lose sleep. It's best to set up a strict time limit of when you gotta get ready and go bed. Similar to how Yoshige Kawakira always makes sure you go bed by 11 p.m. Because sleep not only is super important to the body, but it helps you stay functional as well as keep a straight mind. Otherwise, you will start making raspy and hasty decisions that can make poor judgment throughout the days. These next 3, I'm just gonna rapid fire real quick. Time management. This is gonna be the most important skill that you would develop. This is going to help you not only manage classes in college, but as well as life in general, and other things that life throw in your way as well with college. And mind you, you have to do this all at the same time. And I'm going to say this real quick, it is okay if you stumble and fails with these. Not everyone going to get it on their first try. Hell, people will still continue to fail as they go along. So it's okay to worry about it. The real important thing is that you come back from it. Physical or online classes. This is going to very much depend on the person. I'm personally a hybrid person, which is someone who takes both physical and online classes throughout the semester, and I had experienced a situation where I'd done both of them but separately. of semester full of physical classes and a semester full of online classes. And thanks to this experience, I learned that I would personally want to see if I can find a job that is either remote work or even hybrid. Especially the remote work, because my god, be able to travel so much and be able to just be on the go, but no. Registering for classes. Don't do it, they fucking suck. The college don't pick the timetable for when these classes are available. They actually pick by the devil themselves, and so that way you can see how each and every single student torment over trying to fit these classes into their time schedule, and see how they fight over each other of trying to get the only class available for their degree out of 500 students. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, they're limited seating. So even when there's only one class available for around 500 students that only take up where 30 to 40 students, good luck! Number, I don't fucking know, 6, 7 maybe? I don't fucking know, it could be 5. Anyway, get work experience before college. This is very important. Of course, this is obvious now, but especially with the job market and how everything is going to be in the future, you are going to need work experience. And it's so dumb and so annoying because not only do you have to worry with the stress of college and life on top of it, they also expect you to work as well with it and somehow balance all three of those. Try and make sure you're not having a mental breakdown every 5 seconds. It's honestly suck, but that's sadly how things are with reality. If I can give some bit of advice, if you haven't gotten work experience before college, such as working during high school, either find retail work, and hopefully that you can get good with your bosses, or find work at your school, as they will be the best way to help manage time with you and your classes. Obviously, the same goes for work as well, but there are times where depending on the job, whether that be retail work or job as a whole, they might want to take advantage of you or might screw you over. So that's why I would suggest of seeing if you can find a job in the school, but if you can, simply finding a regular job as well, whether that be part-time, well most likely part-time, will work just as fine as finding a job at school. Number something. Use any method or benefit you can to help. Now, to give a bit more of, I guess, personal experience from my end, which, oh no, I'm doxing myself, I'm actually considered a military affiliated student, aka I'm actually a dependent listed under Chapter 35, aka my father, who is the veteran, allowed their children, aka me, to use VA benefits while I'm attending school. And these can help out in so many ways. One of the good examples is that sometime, depending on your university, they could have VA work there, that VA student can come in and work there, which then will count towards your work experience, as well as you get paid. Yippee! Which that will lead to a whole nother skew of lists that I'm not going to go over, but it's very helpful and important to know that if you are a VA student, there are multiple avenues in a way that can help you ease the stress and pressure of school, both mentally and financially as well. Another thing to mention too is to look into your college tuition. Now, the reason why I say this is that something I noticed, at least with my school or potentially other schools, is that they don't like to tell you what your college tuition have to offer. Like, you just pay them thousands of dollars and they're like, alright, go take your classes, have fun! And then when you ask them, like, why didn't you tell me I have all these other benefits as a student? They'd be like, why didn't you check it? You should have known. And I'm over here being like, dog, you didn't tell me. Like, why you expect me to learn about this when I'm already dealing with 50 million other things I'm currently doing? Like, I understand that, like, I understand for those type of students that just slack off and don't do anything to help themselves. But for the one who are actively trying to make sure they have help throughout college, they can't always be informed about these. Like, Inside my college tuition, they actually offer 6 free therapy sessions, as well as a free suit that is second-handed, of course. Plus, just simply being a student at universities or community colleges, you could get student discount and other privileges on certain items, whether that be in or out of school. So overall, make sure you check out what benefit you can use, as well as using sources, whether that be online or in person, to learn what benefits and offers you have as a student. And for my veteran affairs students out there, please, for the love of God, do your benefits on time. Number that come like after 5, I guess. It's never too late to attend college or gain knowledge. Kind of. Okay, so I know the kind of part seemed weird, but let me put this straight. College doesn't have a set age limit. Anyone at any age and background can come into college to simply learn the knowledge that they want to learn, so that way they can use it to help themselves and the people around them. When I was taking classes, I befriended and met this 30-year-old who was taking accounting, so that way he can use the degree to get an accounting job to help support not only his wife, but to also move into a house so that way they can adopt a child together and start a family. And this doesn't go for him. There are many other people who go to college for their own reason, and they all come from different backgrounds. I have met a girl who moved from the Philippines to attend college at the US. So that way she can get a degree similar to that, either to engineering or nursing, to then help support her and her family back home once she graduates. And she's using that to help drive her and motivate her to complete these. Obviously, with people who have these type of goal, with all this diverse group of people that are coming to college, whether that be in the most diverse states such as California or in the heavy South, where the majority of the population are considered American, white Americans, you still gonna come across someone with a diverse background, where they're Asian, African American, I was about to say British, European, Hispanic, and many more. And yes, even when you're in college, you will still come across people who are racist or just simply don't like those type of diverse background or people. That's sadly the truth, and honestly very weird, but I have a simple answer for all those racist people as well. The answer is called the front door, and if they open it and walk through it, then they can leave the college campus and decide not to go back or go to a different college in mind. Now yes, they will still constantly run into people who have different ethnicity, but that's the everyday life and sad reality for them, while people okay, I'm going too far, but I'm going too far in the rant, but mainly, just simply know that college is for everyone. And you may be wondering, why did I say kind of? Well, in my personal opinion, and this is a concern I have that you can argue with, I feel that at a certain age, it can be difficult to attend college. As you grow older, start taking on jobs or other responsibilities, they can start piling up to where it can be more difficult to attend college. Now, thanks to modern day technology as well as we advance with humanity, we will have better technology and better way that we can tackle and take classes. For example, I have a family member who is currently in the military, and they are attending online classes so that way they can obtain their master's degree. Obviously, this takes a lot of dedication and motivation to do so, and it's not easy work having to balance all those responsibilities. So that's why I feel like it's best to do it when you're at a young age, so that way you don't have too many responsibility on your plate in order to attend college and graduate with the degree you have. I'm not saying that it's impossible. It just feels like it's gonna get more difficult as you grow up. Number hexagon, failure is okay. This is honestly the best wake-up call / development for your growth, is that you have to learn that failure is okay. And I'm not talking about the small bumps on the road such as missing late assignment or forgetting deadlines, or hell, even skipping a few classes. I'm talking about big ones. And I feel like the best way to explain this, as well as hopefully give you guys more advice than just simply telling you, is giving my personal story of college. When I was in high school, I was very much more of a book-smart student. Hence why my favorite subject was math, second to science. I took pre-cal in high school, which helped determine that I shouldn't take math when I was going to college. But another thing too was that in my head, since I grew up with this thought of I need to get a job that gave me high amount of money and a really good degree. So when I got to community college, doing the strategy of making sure to save on money of going to community college first, then to university, I decided to pursue a bachelor in biology, making sure I get my associate in biology, then bachelor. However, when my parents learned about this during my first year community college, they told me that the degree was too broad. It wasn't very specific focus, or focus on one type of field. For example, if I was a nurse, I could just simply focus on nursing, or if I was a mechanical engineer, I would focus on mechanical engineering rather than the whole broad aspect of engineering. So, because of this, I decided to take their advice and go to medical tech. This is sadly where I learned I can't do medical. I don't really like it either. So I went to my last ditch option, which was another advice from my parents to pick, accounting. I graduated community college with general studies in associate due to the fact that they didn't offer accounting as associates, let alone a bachelor there. Once I got my associate degree and completed the necessary requirements, I was able to transfer to a university where I would pursue a degree in accounting. This was, and will it be, my lowest point in college. As soon as I got to intermediate accounting 2, not only did, in my personal opinion, I got a professor who not great at being a professor, but with her bad teaching as well not being very helpful with the student, I wasn't simply good at accounting. I couldn't really retain nor learn the material very well or very fast. It would not stick. And I started breaking down crying in front of my parents when I got back home, telling them that I want to switch. But then I was told by one of them that I wanted to quit because it was too hard. That now, since it's starting to get rough, I want to take the easy road. That now I want to start switching degree. This got them upset, and later on I went to my upstairs in my bathroom crying. Then when I went to do student hour with the professor just in her office, she went over the textbook with me on the problem, the first ever problem, and when I got it wrong, I started crying. I couldn't hold back my tears. I really needed this accounting job. I really needed this accounting degree. That's all I was thinking to myself at the time. Because with this degree, it can help me get a high-paying job and get me anywhere in the world. That's what I would have been told. I'll get a high-paying job and a great degree, then you can be able to work anywhere. And I was breaking down crying in front of the professor in her office alone after one failed question. She later told me, because at the start of this class year, we took a assessment test to see how much we remember of the accounting paper, and I learned that I couldn't even remember the basic fundamental of accounting. This is where her being a teacher stopped being a teacher for accounting and being a teacher for life. Where she told me that college is a place where you get to pick what you want to do in life. If you don't like accounting, then that's not a degree you should do. You should do a degree that you like to do, something that you dream of. Like I said, she awful at teaching accounting, but goddamn was he great at teaching me life lesson. Sadly though, this did run into an issue though. Well, the life lesson that she gave me was very helpful and kind, and honestly, this is where I started respecting people who can take art as a degree, or just history as a degree, just simply any degree they're passionate about that most likely won't yield them that much money. Is because it's something they like to do and they're willing to take that risk and that flaws with it. And I'm not. So, when I went back to my parents later that week, and started breaking down crying for the third time, yeah, in the span of a week, I broke down crying 3 times in front of adults. I finally was able to convince them to finally let me switch my degree. And as much as I wish I could do biology, I know that I would have to start over all of those time again. I didn't want to go through the hell of college again, and I want to graduate quick because of the pressure of going on with the real world and not being able to have a job or any real world experience will hold me back and make things more difficult. So, with the help of my parents, I decided to switch my degree from accounting to general business, transporting any classes that I had took and completed in the business category of accounting, being able to transfer over in general business. And that, ladies and gents, is how I graduated college with a general business. I'll be very honest with y'all. I still feel like a failure. Like, I know that I graduated with a degree, and of course I have been told by some people that, oh, at least with a general business degree better than an art degree and whatnot, but to me, and doing other ways to help promote and better myself in life, whether through personal hobbies or venture, or just even thinking about going back to college or going find other program that can help me get a better situation, I still feel like I didn't really prove myself or better myself in a way, or at least just simply I feel like I can't really accept that part of me. I don't know. But overall, that's all really I have to say about college. Hopefully all of this helped any one of you in your time in college, or if you plan on going to college. Just simply want to return the favor to all the people who helped supporting me, whether that be you, the viewer, the subscribers, or my friends or families. But overall, I'm gonna go off and do my own thing for the time being. Thank you, college, and fuck you, college, as well. I wish to never see you again unless I need to, or at better circumstances. So, thank you all for watching. Hope you all have a great day, or a great night. Goodbye!